What is happening, guys? It's your main man, Matt, rocking it solo from the DFS 5-pack. It is Wednesday, October 27th. Again, you got me solo. Ryan is tied up all day, so I'm ready to crush this NBA slate. Unfortunately, MLB is pretty much over. We got the World Series, nice 1-0 lead for the Braves, but NBA's in full swing, NFL's in full swing, so let's crush it. We got 10 games tonight, typical Wednesday night slate. We got some good ones to talk over. So let me screen share this and we will dive right in. So first game, Charlotte and Orlando. Charlotte playing really good ball. Orlando, not so much. This is a game I don't necessarily think Charlotte's going to absolutely roll. Wouldn't surprise me if they won by a good margin, though. I mean, they're the much better team. Guy that it's hard not to look at from the Charlotte side is Miles Bridges. I mean, he just continues to stuff the stat sheet. I've always been a fan of his game. He does a little bit of everything. Took 10 threes last time out. They've really expanded his role. Again, I'm a big Bridges fan. I don't think he's a must or anything like that. There's a lot of good plays on this slate, but I do think he's a good look. I think that he'll probably get overlooked at 7,200, and he is my favorite piece of the Hornets. Now, I also don't mind like Gordon Hayward, cog type in the machine. LaMelo Ball overall, their best player. Give me Bridges over Ball right now for 1,000 less. That's just how I feel about it. From the Orlando side, I mean, it's a 10-game slate. Mo Bamba's got upside. Excuse me. I know Cole Anthony's played well. He had that one monster game, but other than that, he's just been okay. Yeah, I can't see myself prioritizing any Orlando here on this slate. Moving on, Washington and Boston. So Beal came back last game, so expect him to play again. Really puts everyone on Washington kind of on the outside looking in. Kuzma wasn't great last time out. He's even a little bit pricier. Tough for me to prioritize the Wizards here. Beal's obviously their best player. Dinwiddie's priced up. If you want to take a shot on Beal, I get it. Hasn't had a monster game yet. It's coming. He will be unowned. Other than that, not really looking at too many guys from the Wizards here. As far as the Celtics go, Jaylen Brown in. He's been awesome to start the year. Obviously, he had that crappy game against the Raptors, but in both their competitive games, he's been really, really good. I think they're coming off an OT game, so worth noting there. The Celtics are in play. Robert Williams, we saw another upside game from him last time out. We know that he can fill up the stat sheet, blocks a lot of shots. Blocks a lot of shots and is a great rebounder. So his DFS scores can often be 40 plus. Obviously if Horford's in, and he is going to play today, which he was out last time, that takes me a little bit off Williams. Looks like Boston's kind of full health. I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling too much of Boston either. These first two games aren't games that I'm dying to go after. And then we get to another game that I really don't have a ton of interest in, Miami and Brooklyn. I like the Miami side more. Starting from the Brooklyn side, James Harden, he's back up to 10K, and he just hasn't been great. Not shooting a lot of free throws. Seems like the rule changes have really affected him. He's just not playing like a 10K player right now. So I'd only use him if I were multi-entering. He's going to be unowned, and an unowned James Harden is always worth thinking about. But based on his play, I'm not excited about it. KD, not Blake Griffin. I think KD's fine. This isn't really a game I want to prioritize for DFS purposes. Like I said, I like the Miami side more, but Miami's also healthy too. So Kyle Lowry's in. I know Hero's been really good, but they're healthy now. Butler's in, Bam's in. Tough to really want to prioritize these guys here. All right, next up, we got Atlanta, the Hawks in New Orleans facing the Pelicans. Bunch of guys in this game I think are in play. From the Atlanta side, guy that we talked about last slate that just continues to play well is Cam Reddish. I see no reason why we can't go right back there. Very fairly priced at 5K, probably still a little bit too cheap. I'm a fan of his game. And I think he's just a good look here. He's my favorite piece of Atlanta, price considered. Not even that close, to be honest. Obviously, if you wanted to like game stack this game and use Trae Young, I get that. But I probably don't prioritize him on this slate. There's just other guys I like more. Reddish, though, looks like a guy that I am very high on here. As far as the Pelicans go, not the best spot in the world, but definitely in play. Devontae Graham still hasn't shot well yet. Shot 8 of 16, which is good, but only 1 of 6 from 3. 35 DK points. The bigger games coming at 5,700, definitely in play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker continues to be solid, if not spectacular, solid. Maybe a little pricey at 7K. And the two big guys, Ingram and J-Val. Ingram coming off an okay game last time out, but I'm a fan. He's their best player right now, especially with Zion out. If you think this game is close, then I think Ingram makes a lot of sense. I could get on board with him in any format. And then J-Val at 8,200. I mean, the Pelicans are playing J-Val more minutes than any team has ever played him. We know that it's never been a question about talent. It's always been how much can he stay on the court. Well, if he's going to play 35-plus minutes, he's too cheap at 8,200 and looks like one of the best plays in all formats. So I think you can – I don't think you have to lock J-Val in, but I think he looks like a really good look. Oh, yeah, one guy from Atlanta, I guess, Clint Capella, 6,500. Not excited about it, but he is cheap. All right, Indiana and Toronto. This game, interesting, if nothing else. Indiana's a team we like picking on because they're good enough offensively, but they're not good defensively. As far as they themselves go, they're fairly priced. Brogdon, 8,300. Sabonis always in play, close to 10K, though. So I'm not, like, jamming these guys in. Chris Duarte is 5,600. Fairly priced. These guys are fine. If you like Indiana a lot here, I get it. Not the team that I'm going to like go balls to the walls on, though. That's for sure. I like Toronto a little bit more. Another team, though, they're just not really doing it for me. Van Vliet is a guy I could be totally fine with in all formats at 7,800. Saw a big game from him last time out. This team's 1-3, so this is a game that obviously they're going to want to win. They want to win all games, but Toronto has not started off well. I think we see a good performance from them here. OG, their second best player, back-to-back good games. I have no issues getting to OG here. This is a guy that can do a little bit of everything: shoot threes, steals, blocks, rebounds, assists. So 6,500, I think that he is a good look here. Him and Van Vliet, and I don't need to run it back with any Indiana. All right, now we get to an interesting spot: Milwaukee and Minnesota. So if you think this game is close, it's hard not to just lock in Giannis, who's been an absolute beast. Best player on the slate. I don't consider him like, I have to play him. If you're making one lineup, I don't think that like you have to plug him in first, but you could do a lot worse than just building around Giannis, who is, the best fantasy player in the NBA and in a great spot here against the Minnesota team that has no one to stop him. Outside of Giannis, and we still have Drew Holiday and Brooke Lopez out, so that obviously helps him. Chris Middleton, firmly in play, price jump a little bit, but if you're fading Giannis, I like Middleton more. I think you can play them together. A lot of people won't do that. If you're playing them together, I'd want some Minnesota, and then it gets to be tough because, the Minnesota guys are a little bit pricey, but it can be done. Middleton's clearly their second best guy. Pat Connaughton, just like Reddish, we brought him up on the last video. He looks good here. Similar to Reddish, price decrease a little bit. I expect 25 to 30 DK points. Really good spot for Milwaukee here. Minnesota is not good defensively. Grayson Allen, 4,400. Same thing. More than fine with him. I think you can play $3-4 here. I don't think this is like the smash spot of all smash spots, but they're shorthanded. They're good. Minnesota's not good at defense, and Minnesota's good offensively. So I think this could be a little bit of a game. And as far as Minnesota goes, man, I've been talking him up. I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan. This kid can ball. He's going to be a perennial all-star. I expect him to, at some point, lead the league in scoring. He's just smooth. And if you think that Minnesota keeps this game close, hard not to at least have some interest in him and Towns. Problem with Towns is he's expensive, but he should be coming off a 70 DK point game. Milwaukee has no one to stop Towns. So if this game is close, I expect Towns and Edwards to do their thing. D'Angelo Russell, who I'm a big fan of, man. I love D'Lo, Ohio State kid. I've always loved D'Lo. He's just the third guy on this team. Edwards and Towns are better, so it's hard to want to put any faith in him. That said, he hasn't shot great. He's 3 of 15 from 3 over his last 2 games. He did have a 40 spot in that first game. So in GPPs, I like taking a shot on Russell. And as a spend down option, Pat Beverly, 20 plus in both games, 20 plus minutes, more than fine as a spend down option in a game I like quite a bit. All right, 4 games left. We got the Lakers coming off an OT game last night against OKC. OKC sucks. They played last night too. Yeah, they played the Warriors last night. Bad loss for them after they were kind of leading early. Same situation with OKC. If you think the game's close, I'd load up on Shai. Josh Giddey with a price decrease again looks like a solid value play now at 4,800. Not a must, but solid look for sure. They don't have a lot of good players right now, so they're going to need bodies. And he's, their first round draft pick. I think he's a cog type in all formats. I see Lou Dort getting some love. He also makes sense. I'm not excited about any of these guys, but I think they're all fine filler plays. And then as far as the Lakers go, again, coming off an OT game, they should roll in this spot. AD is questionable. I don't want to touch too much on the Lakers just because we don't know. LeBron is questionable. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. If they're fully healthy, I don't have a ton of interest here. If they're not, I think you play who's in. All right, Sacramento and Phoenix. This should be a good game. I expect this to be a really good game, actually. From a DFS perspective, not a ton of interest, though. Again, both teams fully healthy and priced affordably. So from the Sacramento side, De'Aaron Fox has been solid, but I'm not really looking to spend $8,600 on him. I'd rather play Trae Young, who I'm probably not going to play. Tyrese Halliburton, fairly priced at $6,100. If I were playing one of these guys, it'd be him. He's just got upside at that price point for sure. I know Barnes had that monster game 1. He's been awesome. So 7,500 steep for Harry Barnes, but he's been good in a game I think is close. This is more of a game stack game for me. I don't really love individual pieces, but I think this game is close. I could see some offense. Phoenix is the same thing. They're good, obviously, but they're healthy and fairly priced. So not a team I'm really looking to go after big time. All right, Memphis and Portland. This is a game I think you can look at some pieces for sure. One of the most popular players on the slate is going to be DeAnthony Melton at 5K. And it makes sense, man. He's just been balling. We know this kid can put the ball in the hoop, playing big minutes now. I've always been a Melton fan, and at 5K in a good spot against Portland, I think you take a long look at him. As far as the more expensive guys go, John Morant is pricey, but I certainly like him more than De'Aaron Fox, Trae Young. I like him more than those guys in a game that I expect to be close. So not a must, but I like Morant here. I think you could potentially build around him in tournaments, like instead of Giannis, if you think the Bucks roll or something like that. Other guys from Memphis, Triple J at 6,600, not really. Really, it's Melton and then Morant if you want to spend up. And this, as far as Portland goes, I don't mind some Portland. Nurkic at 6,900. I mean, risky for sure, but they got rolled last game, so I wouldn't put too much stock in that. Man, Steven Adams at 5,300. He's still too cheap for the Memphis side, so he's another guy on Memphis I could definitely see playing. Why not? 100%. And then the other guy was Desmond Bain, who I look like I missed. He's been solid, just under 5K. Memphis, again, I missed a couple of those pieces. They got some nice filler pieces, I think, all over. And then Portland, I mentioned Nurkic. Larry Nance hasn't been great, but with Norman Powell out, I just got to believe one of these games he's going to be good, although Powell's questionable here, so we wouldn't really be looking there. CJ McCollum's been good to start the year. Again, can't take too much stock in the last game. They got rolled by 30. Lillard hasn't had a big game yet. That's going to change. We know who Dame Lillard is. One of these games, he's going to go off. Could be tonight. If you want to stack, Morant and Lillard, I don't think many people are going to do that. And why couldn't this game be the Spurs-Lakers game of last night? No reason it couldn't be. Again, he shot awful from 3 to start the year. This is Dame freaking Lillard, guys. One of the best players in the NBA. One of these games, he's going to go nuts. All right, last but not least, we got my Cavaliers, who actually look good, and I'm happy about it to start the year in LA facing the Clippers, who finally got off the schneid, got their first W. As far as the Cavs go, with Garland back, they're healthy. I've been really impressed with Evan Mobley. He's been a stud, but as far as DFS goes, they're healthy and they're priced up. So not the greatest spot for the Cavs. I'm not really looking to use them for DFS. As far as the Clippers go, I think Cleveland's defense is vastly improved. Paul George is a stud. He's expensive at 10-3. He's not my favorite stud of choice, but a lot of people won't be on him because he's so closely priced to Giannis. So I don't mind it at all in tournaments if you think this game is going to be a good one. I know Luke Kennard had a nice game last time out, and again in the Clippers blowout. I see Nick Batum getting quite a bit of love. I'm fine with it. He's a filler piece. Wouldn't expect too much from him, but if you're trying to do some stars and scrubs type stuff, then he works. The other guy that's been really good is Eric Bledsoe. Again, they won by 30 last game, lost minutes. He's been really solid for the Clippers. I think he's happy to be back at his old stomping grounds. At 5,900, he looks like a nice piece, again, that I can get on board in all formats, and he just won't get a lot of love. So, as always, it's a 10-game, Wednesday night NBA slate, still like the second week of the season. So, a lot of unknowns still. Play accordingly. There's some good spots tonight, so you're going to have to plant your flag somewhere. Wouldn't spread yourself out too thin. And yeah, it's still early in the day, so waiting on news, but wanted to get this video out for you guys. Going to just do one video today, make this members only video for the public. And yeah, if you want more videos, more content, more me, more Ryan, more write-ups, any of that stuff, come check out the DFS 5-pack. We'd love to have you. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks as always. Appreciate you. Have a great Wednesday. Thanks again.